We're at the Doss Center for the Arts in downtown Pomona, in the Arts Colony. The show is called The League of Contemporary Artists. It's a show of all CGU students, about 34 students from the Graduate University, and about 70 pieces of work ranging from paintings to sculptures, pieces made out of books, out of cardboard, glass. So it's a really great range. Well, it's pretty exciting because a lot of art coming out of Southern California is mainly known as being from LA. So this is kind of a claim to say that there's work coming from the Inland Empire, coming from Claremont, and that we're a large stake in the art community and we have a lot to say. It's also exciting to have CGU in the show because they approached us and they wanted to have a show entirely for our school. That was a great honor for us, as well as an opportunity for a lot of us to show for the first time outside of an academic setting and to show with each other.
Well, I'm interested in the idea of nature not being so natural. And we are born into believing that the trees we see, the buildings we see, we perceive them as things, we take them for granted and we think that they're natural, whereas they're all being very, very carefully designed, chipped to sort of fit our needs. Like we build roads, we cut trees to pave ways for ourselves. And so the objects that are living in between the lines of natural and unnatural are the things that I'm interested in painting.
These are my pieces, pink, blue, and orange. They're acrylic paintings on mylar that I've layered. I layered them to create physical depth instead of the illusion of perspective. I used bright colors to show these like synthetic colors we're seeing a lot now. Also, when I've layered the mylars, the shadows casted become really integral to the piece.
I came into CG as a painter, but all my paintings begin with a photograph. The idea of like composing something kind of really makes me feel kind of ill in a way. So I'm already used to kind of taking pictures for my work, for my paintings, but I was thinking about, well, how can I make photography kind of like exist as a painting or have that same kind of quality. So for me, this was about like resolution. So in other words, I took about, this is about 80 photographs and I put them together in software, and that's why you can see all the separate layers. And there's an option to blend everything together, but I went ahead with this kind of fragmented approach.
For me, this is about trying to connect two different ways of thinking about the world. One of them is represented by these geometric shapes, which to me are the history of our culture, like Western culture, and then the interior patterns are about the history of, in this case, like Asian or Middle Eastern cultures. But really it's just about like when you have two different ways of looking at the world, two different ways of thinking about them, are they in conflict? Or can you find a way to synthesize them? Do they exist, in an either or, you got to pick one, or do they have some way that they can be something more together? There are all of these communities around us that we need to be most involved with, the communities that are closest by. I feel like there's a real emphasis on needing to only think about what's happening in the city, in downtown LA and beyond. But then all around us there's art communities, there's arts colonies that are right here in our own backyard, and that there needs to be an involvement between the school and those communities. I mean, there's no other place like CGU around, and I feel like we are in a unique position to be involved with them.